राइट, बहुत बढ़िया। ओके, हो गया ये यूट्यूब पर, और अब हम Zoom. Okay, everyone. Namaskar, namaskar. Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? So today this topic has been provided to me from one of the participants in the current program. And while I've spoken many times about time and how in energies time doesn't exist, but this particular part of time, procrastination. What is procrastination? When we don't do things on time, and when we delay them, when we don't want to look at something, when we are trying to move away from getting something done. There is a job that's been given to us and we are unable to look at it, to do it, and then we keep procrastinating. And then there is this other term that I found. I was looking for the term procrastination, and then I found this term called precrastination, which apparently means when you're in a rush to do things and you just want things to get over, you just want it to be over with. And so you quickly finish things off as well. So we'll touch upon that as well. But as far as procrastination is concerned, when I was just looking, why was I looking for procrastination? I was looking at what is it called in Hindi. I couldn't figure out what it's called in Hindi. I was sitting and waiting for it yesterday, saying, yeah, hi, hello, hi. So I was waiting for it, and then I was trying to figure out what is it called in Hindi. And when I was looking at it, it actually said to me, and when I read a few things, it actually said to me that it's considered to be like little bit of a problem, a psychiatric problem, or if you please. So if you think that it's an issue and it needs to be resolved, then obviously this is not the right place, because I don't think of anything as an issue. I don't think of anything as a disease. I simply just look at the energy underneath it, and then I'm able to work through the energy. So if you're thinking that this is a problem, then maybe you need to go someplace else. But anyways, I'll talk about what it means. What does it mean to procrastinate? And then what is the energy underneath it? Maybe this will help you, and maybe you will stop thinking of it as a problem for you as well. Okay, so here we go. So procrastination. If there is somebody around you, and mostly, as I mentioned, even in the morning session, all mothers would relate to it. If there is somebody around you, a child, a spouse, who's always leaving things for the last minute, who's not getting around to doing the job that they have been assigned, then you're looking at them, and then you're saying, okay, you have to do this. Why aren't you doing this? The clock is running by, the time is running by, there's a deadline to this project. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing this? If you are the person who's constantly screaming at somebody else, and you think that they are the ones that are procrastinating again and again, as we do each time over here, whose energy we are going to look at? Well, obviously our own. So if you're the one who's procrastinating, who's got somebody in the household or in your office, somebody you give work to, a colleague, a subordinate, and the work never gets done on time, and then what is it that you are feeling? You are feeling frustration, you are feeling anger, resentment, whatever it is that you're feeling. If you're feeling worry, fear, whatever it is that you are feeling, that's your energy field that's creating the outside situation. So who are we going to work on? We're going to work on our own energy of frustration or worry or fear. I find so many parents who look at their children and say, oh my God, he doesn't do anything on time. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He's going to suffer so much in the future. And with that, they constantly keep thinking of how much this person is going to suffer in the future. Sometimes it's actually even got to be your own experience that you are trying to project. You're trying to project on somebody else, saying that I suffered because of this habit of mine. And maybe if you continue with this habit, I know what it feels like. I know how much we have to suffer because of this habit. And that's why I'm trying to reform you. Well, let us tell you that it's only your habit that's again and again coming, even right now, even as the other person, it's coming to bite you, it's coming to give you worry. So it's you that has to work on your worry, your fear, because no matter what your projection is, The child has their own energy field. They are going to play out their fear as per their energy field, not as per your future projection. Through all of these sad, miserable future projection of yours, who is the one who's really suffering? It's just you. You are the one who's creating all of these doomsday projections, and you are the one that's sitting in worry from these doomsday projections. So, yeah, so if you have somebody around you that's always procrastinating and that's constantly the source of worry for you, that's giving you palpitations, that's giving you heart attacks, then it's you that's got to work on your energy. Very simple. I was quoting from my own life this example of who I used to be. I used to always be somebody who would do nothing at home. I'd just be, no work at home would get done on time. If my mother tells me to wash my clothes, change my sheets, nothing would get work on time. And she'd constantly be worried about me. Well, she's not the worrying sort, but she'd always tell me, if you don't learn how to do this, if you don't learn how to do that, you are the one that's going to suffer. She didn't do it all her life, and then probably she suffered, but she was trying to project that to me. And then every time I wouldn't do something, it would give her a lot of worry. It would give, it would be a cause of worry to her. And then what happened? Yeah, I moved out on my own because I had studies to go to. I went out of the country. And then I found that I was completely doing everything on time. I wasn't procrastinating. I wasn't doing anything. It wasn't even bothering me. Everything got done. I wouldn't understand it then. And my mother said, oh, see, you've become so responsible now that you're living by yourself. I couldn't understand it then, but here it was. I was simply an actor to her worries, to her, to her. I was showing her a mirror to all the stuff that she had to go through. And then she could worry and feel anxiety for my future. But as far as I was concerned, by the time I got onto my own path, everything was getting done all by itself by me, without any trauma, without any problems. I was able to do all the work in time because now I didn't have to play that role for her. That's how much our energies are engaged with each other. We tend to think that this is the person and this is what his character looks like. We start to say, okay, this one is a procrastinator, this one is somebody who's very responsible, this one will do things on time. And we start to think that we don't put the finger at ourselves and say, okay, this is me, this is also me, and that is also me. Which part of my energy is he reflecting? What part of energy is he reflecting? When we begin to look at everything from our eyes, we recognize everything is our own energy. And then nobody is stuck to a certain character. Everybody is stuck to roles. If we change our energy, the roles outside change. The roles outside will have to change because it's us. It's to show us what we are holding, that everybody around us is behaving in a certain way. So difficult to believe, right? Well, not when you're looking within. When you're looking within, this is the only way that I find I operate. When I was looking outside, of course, there was a lot of blame on people. There's a lot of complaints. But now I can complain for a minute, but then the finger comes squarely back at me. And I'm able to see, okay, this person is not doing my work properly. Let's see what part of my energy is creating this event outside. Whatever I'm unhappy with, what is the emotion? It's unhappiness. Then great. Unhappiness is the one that's creating that event. That's simple. It's the energy of unhappiness. It's not getting created from outside, but the unhappiness that already exists within me. That's the one that's creating the events outside. Sure, I can do some releases, release my unhappiness, come back to the frequency of joy. And then I find that I'm easy. I'm easy about whatever the events happening outside are. And then something in that event also changes. I don't have to put my finger outside that now this has got to change because I'm working with it. No, that's called putting expectations out. And we all know, we've all seen it, that when we have expectations, then we are bound to get hurt. That's the beautiful link between expectations and our attachment to outcomes, and then that leads to hurt. So not getting in the hurt process, not even going there, but now coming back to the topic of procrastination. So when we look outside and there's some actors, the only question that we ask to ourselves, what am I feeling as I see my work not getting done on time, or as I see something not getting completed as it was meant to be? What am I feeling? Process that emotion and then let it be. Allow it, allow the flow to happen as it wants to be. What if we are the person that's procrastinating? What if I'm that person that's procrastinating, don't want to get something done? Again, taking a look at the energy underneath. So here, if I'm procrastinating, what is it that, why is it that I want, something to not be done? So the first cause might be that I'm sitting in fear. I have doubts about my own capability. I have doubts whether the work is going to be done by me, whether I will be able to complete it. I'm fearful of starting the job itself because I know that I'm going to screw it up. If I'm scared, if I'm afraid, I will keep delaying something or the other out for the future, hoping that some help might arrive. But then with that same energy that, oh my God, I don't know how to get the work done. I don't know how to get the work done. And then ultimately I will start to get into that job. And what will happen? That energy of fear, that energy of anxiety, all of that I'm holding, that's going to play out a little bit more for me. I'll be able to create a little bit more anxiety for me, a little bit more hassles for me as the work outside is not getting done. When I look at something outside, and I take this example all the time, many of you have heard this example from me about my taxes, because for the last 4 years or 3 years, every time my chartered accountant would write to me saying, it's your tax time, I would observe within that I went into a state of, I don't want to go through that paperwork. Each time it happens to me that I get into a state of fear, I don't want to go through the paperwork. What is it that I do? Do I still move around and collect the paperwork together? As a matter of fact, not. I simply sit and I begin to do my journaling. I begin to look into the fear. What if I do the taxes on time? What if I don't do the taxes on time? What if I find the papers that are needed for this? What if I don't find the papers that are needed for this? What all are the implications of doing this? And what are the implications of not doing this? In each of them, I would have already created a story. If I don't fill the taxes on time, then this is going to happen. I'll get some penalty. I'll have to do this. I'll have to find more paperwork. The income tax people are going to come after me. All kinds of stories will come up when I take a look at what if this and what if not this. I simply sit and I release each fear one by one. That's how it needs to be. Do I just rush through because, oh my God, the more I'm delaying it, the more the tax deadline is closing in on me. Now I'm definitely going to miss the deadline. So what if I miss the deadline? What is it that I will have to do then? I'll have to pay some penalties. If I have to pay some penalties, then what is going to happen? Nothing. Penalties is just some money. And I always tell people, please look at where all you create emotions when the money comes in and when the money goes out. The money is created in every frequency, but when it comes in, what emotions are you creating? When it goes out, what emotions are you creating? Penalty is a term that we've given to money going out, extra money going out, money that didn't need to go out, but now is going out because we delayed something or we created some problems. As we look at a penalty now, we are filled with fear and also we are filled with lack because this is extra money that was not supposed to go out. And so what are we sitting in now? We are sitting in lack. And every time we pay some money that was not supposed to be, we actually just from the thought itself, we are creating more lack for ourselves. As I tell you, Let the money go with blessings. Each time the money leaves your hand, let it receive your blessing, let it receive your gratitude. Because you know what? Money is created in every frequency. It'll get created in lack. And so the more you send out money in lack, you will get some money, but this time it will be created in even more lack. And what will lack create? Only more of itself. And so when you come into money and there is joy, and when you get out of money and there is joy, what will the universe be giving you more and more of? It will be giving you more of joy in one way or another. No matter how much money you make, does it guarantee that you will not be sitting in lack? No, the lack can show up in so many different ways. The lack can show up in lack of love, lack of time, lack of health, anything. There are so many different ways that the lack can show up as. And so, as you see money coming in and going out, don't quantify it, don't label it. This is penalty, this is loan, this is debt. The minute we label it, this is a gift. The minute we label it, that word itself is bound to create some associations for us, and we shift our frequency. If I give you some money and it's a loan, you will still be sitting with, okay, I have to repay it. But if I give you money and I say it's a gift, now you'll suddenly find yourself in more happiness just because it's a gift. So just simply be in happiness. The money has come into your hands, whether it's a loan, it's a debt, it's a gift, whatever it is, just simply be in this frequency of gratitude for what you've received, or even more importantly, because that's where we forget, just simply being in gratitude even when the money is going out. Don't label it as a penalty. Don't label it as a repayment. It's just going out. Let's bless it. Even the government, when it receives your money with so much blessings, it'll be able to create something that is more blessed. Otherwise, have you seen all the money that we pay for taxes? How much complaint do we do about the government is not able to do this, it's not able to do that? That lack that you sent out the money in, that's just simply creating more lack for us. Okay, getting away from the money story, that's always endless. We can always talk about how many emotions money creates. I've already got some webinars on that. But again, coming back to the consequences of not doing something on time. So as I say, if I don't do taxes on time, I have to process my emotions again and again. I'll be first looking at it saying, what if I don't process it on time? What if I'm able to pay the penalty? Yes, I am. Okay. So now I would have lost that much fear. The one fear I used to have about not paying my taxes was, what is my husband going to say? Because he's somebody who's always so dot on time when it comes to paying taxes. And so that was a judgment I was making on myself. What is he going to say when I don't fulfill my tax liability on time? And then again, it's a judgment. Has he said anything yet? No, but I'm already creating this story in my head that hasn't happened yet, but I'm creating this story in my head. So I can already create an alternate story as well. This is a story and that's a story as well. No, but this is the expected answer because, of course that should be his, he'll be worried, he'll be that. So if it's an expected answer, again, which frequency am I right now sitting in and thinking what his answers will be? I'm sitting in the frequency of fear. And so these are the only thoughts that will come to me. So I got to pause over there, look within and say, what frequency are my thoughts coming from? And then when I'm able to give up my judgment, when I'm able to give up my fears, and then, okay, what will he say? Well, he'll say, let's do your taxes now. If that's late, it's late, but let's do them now. Okay, it's not the end of the world. And so releasing the judgment that, no, I'm not going to be screamed at. I'm not going to be shouted at. Releasing that fear too is something that came up in my story. So to let go of all of those fears of procrastination. These are fears that will arise if I'm the procrastinator, I'm not doing the work on time, and I'm feeling the burden of it. So I'm just talking through the process that I use so that you can probably process the next time something like this happens to you and you're procrastinating. You can look at the what if this, what if that, Look at all the fears, all the judgments you are holding in the scenario, and change your frequency from fear to fearlessness, from judgmental to non-judgmental towards yourself. So no love towards yourself, or very little love towards yourself, and unconditional love for your own self. So as we move forward, once I'm done with all of that, and then I will wait for guidance, and I will start to do my taxes when I feel that, okay, today I'm no longer feeling fear. Today I'm feeling this positive thing that, yeah, I can do this. It's not so much of work. And the day that I feel that positive, I can do this. It's not such a problem. It's not such a big deal. The day I feel that, that's the day I will begin to sit on my taxes and do it. And it's happened in the last 4 years that every time I got this thought that, okay, I can sit today. Already the tax deadline had gone by. The tax deadline had gone by. And so I would still just call my CA and tell him, okay, you know what, I'm ready to do my taxes now. I know there are going to be penalties, but can you just calculate them and let me know? And I will be happy to pay them. And then he always turned around and said, did you not know that the taxes deadline has been delayed? So the story is an old one, but it's all about procrastination. So it comes again today to process deeply, to see, okay, every time you're procrastinating, if you work on the energies first, if you've already cleared your energy from that fear that you're sitting on, that you are not going to be able to do this properly, then the universe will also move something or the other in your favor. It'll show you. It doesn't necessarily mean that the deadline had to be delayed. What if the deadline wasn't delayed? And what if I had to pay the penalty? Nothing. I already cleared that emotion about money, that what if I pay more? What if I pay less? All is in perfection. So no lack about money, no lack about time. Then everything will automatically, the universe will create something for you, some ease, some grace for you to be able to move in that direction. So that's what happened to me, that each time if I felt fear, I would look at that and I would process the fear first. This time, the taxes are still getting done. And this time again, as I looked at it, I said, is there any fear inside? And right off the back, I simply just felt this, no, this is so easy. This is so easy. No fear, just running with the flow. And so surely within a couple of days, I was able to send all the paperwork. But again, now waiting and seeing, do I have any emotions now? Do I have any emotions as the next cycle? The cycles are not that I just send something out and that's my energy. No, we change energy every moment, from moment to moment. And so constantly looking within. When they will send me some clarifications and they'll be asking me some questions, I will again be looking at my own energy and seeing, okay, am I feeling positive? Am I feeling joyful? And only from that space will I do the next step of the work. I'm always, for everything that happens in my life, I'm always making this conscious, aware effort to look within, just to make sure that, okay, my energy is that of flow. I'm not resisting anything. Procrastination, if done in this way, is all about resistance. You are resisting something, you're resisting putting your finger into some job, you're resisting putting your effort into some job. There's got to be some fear underlying it. So take a look at that fear. If there is judgment that you won't be able to do it, again, release the judgment too. The universe is here to help you. And so if you go with this ease and grace, that in my energies, and I always tell people, take energy from my frequencies, because in my frequencies, the answers are always available. Answers are always available. And so they come to you with ease and grace. So that's the second one. Moving into the second one of procrastinating, there are many times that now I'm procrastinating and I'm not even feeling fearful, but I'm just simply procrastinating. What's happening in that? I'm simply looking at whatever the work that needs to be done. And I'm saying, okay, this looks too difficult. This just looks too complicated. not even difficult, but it just, the answer, of how to get something done is just looking too complicated. Let me just sit back because I know that my path is of ease and grace. So money is going to suggest an easier answer. And then with that thought that I'm going to sit and wait for money to suggest an easier answer, I procrastinate. I'm not procrastinating from energies of anxiety and worry, and I can't do this, and this is so difficult. But this second variety is where I'm just simply saying, okay, this looks complicated, but my path, my life is filled with ease and grace, and this too will find an easier solution. This work will get done easier. So let me just wait for the answer that money is going to suggest. In this, I release my doership that I have to do this. I have to finish this time. This is the task. This is the given time. This is the deadline. I simply just wait for money to give me the answer, for him to do it for me. So many beautiful times that it's happened that I'm sitting with just this thought, okay, how is this going to done? And this is looking too complicated. And I say, okay, if it's looking too complicated, I'm signing out right now. I'm going to wait for the time that money is going to give me the answer. I walk away from it. And then somebody thinks that, okay, they need to do it. And they will pick up that and they will finish the entire work for me. It just happens so beautifully that I walked away saying money will suggest a nicer, easier path. And money does, because he'll bring somebody into the picture and they will do all of that job for me. I don't even have to ask them. They simply just pick up from where I've left off and my work gets done. Talk about ease and grace. So my work gets done. Here it is. Somebody might go through 6 or 7 hours of work to get that done. And then you will say, but then you gave all the difficult parts to them. I didn't give it to them. As a matter of fact, if they too would have just sat down and thought to themselves, okay, money will suggest an easier path. This path is of win-win. It doesn't mean that if I win, then somebody's got to lose, somebody's got to do that work in that way. But here it is that when I'm sitting and I just let go of something, saying, okay, I'm going to wait for an easier answer to come. Somebody might come and do it and they might do it with a little bit of struggle. But maybe they're also sitting in masti. Maybe they're not sitting in masti. Wherever they are sitting, whatever is their journey, well, it's their journey. I focus on mine. And when I see the work done, all that I do, I understand that money sent that person to me for the solution. And I'm so simply thankful to them, to the answer, to the person who got me the result. And that's it. My work is with ease and grace. So it got done. Their journey with struggle or with ease and grace, but with masti, without masti, whatever it is, we each of us have our own journeys of awareness. So if they look within, they will also find a very easy way out to do the job. But if they don't look within, or if they're not able to hand over their doership, if I don't do it, who will? I have to do it because now this needs to be done. Now you are sitting in doership, that this work is your responsibility. The minute you sit with the responsible weight on your shoulders, well, that's a weight on your shoulders. So I give away that weight to money, and then the work happens for me with so much ease and grace. At this point in time, when I'm not sitting and doing the work, and somebody else comes and watches that I'm not doing the work, the term that they are going to use for me again is procrastination. They are not going to see any difference between when I'm stuck in fear or whether I'm stuck, or rather unstuck, in surrender, because this is where I've surrendered the job to money and I'm waiting for him to give me an easy way. The outside action, the outside impression looks exactly the same, but the energy that I'm holding for each of these is different. And so that's the only part that matters. What energy am I holding when some work has come up for me and I'm procrastinating? And that's why I said to begin with, I don't even think of it as a disease, because if only the energies of fear I'll release the fear. If the energy is that of joy and surrender, I'll still sit and I will keep waiting. I won't get into the job. I will keep waiting for something else to happen, for an answer to flow through. I'm in no rush to get anything done because I know that everything is already happening at the perfect time. Energies don't play in time and space. Energies don't play in deadlines, no matter when something has to be given in, no matter what. See, when some deadline is available to us, then we think if we don't fulfill this deadline, then consequences. But this is when we are looking at time, a deadline, and ourselves as the doer, this body as the one who has to do. So we are looking at ourselves not from the perspective of energy, but from the perspective of the body. Then if we move to the energy space, we didn't do something on time. Now what are we experiencing? Whatever we are experiencing, maybe it's regret, maybe it's resentment, maybe it's anger towards our own self, maybe it's sadness that, oh, I wish I would have done something on this time and then the results would have been different. No matter what energy you are sitting in, the minute the finger goes in and there's an energy that you can pinpoint to, that's where the play happened from. So catch hold of that energy, observe it now. Now is the moment. You can observe it at any point in time. Energy doesn't play in time and space. So as you observe it now and you let go of the fears related to consequences, because that's what you're, so what if these consequences, and so what if not these consequences? You take a look at that. The easiest way that I release my fears is through just this one line: I'm taken care of, the universe is playing in my favor. Okay, that's 2 lines. So I sometimes say the 1 line and sometimes I say the 2 lines, but both of them only remind me that the entire universe is playing in my favor. These lines only remind me that I am always taken care of. The minute I get it, that I'm always taken care of so beautifully, then what is the frequency that I'll be sitting in? More likely than not, I will be sitting in the frequency of gratitude. When I understand that I'm taken care of course, gratitude can't be so far away. And the minute I sit in gratitude, as it has to be, when I'm sitting in gratitude, the universe will give me more to be grateful about. When I'm sitting in joy, the universe will give me more to be joyful about. When I'm sitting in worry, the universe will give me more to be worried about. And that's how the energies move each time. I'm seeing a few questions, so I'll take that and then I'll move on to the next part of procrastination. What if you procrastinate the easiest of things without any reason? Okay, there needs to be no reason. But when you think about the procrastination itself, okay, I procrastinate without any reason. How does that make you feel about yourself? Are you feeling good about the procrastination? Or are you actually sitting and cursing yourself? Why do I do this? What's wrong with me? I don't, I could have just done this without any problem. I wish I would do this. I wish I would not leave it for the last minute. Is that what you are sitting with, Madhvi? I would like to know, so that we can continue this discussion forward. Okay.
No, no, hi, Meenal.
Yes, hello.
Actually, the thing is that they're the easiest of things. I
Yes.
know the answers to them. I know I can solve these problems if I want to. But actually, the thing is that it doesn't come from inside that I want to solve those problems. Basically, I don't want to take decisions.
Okay, so you don't want to take decisions. Okay, you are not taking any decisions. What about, so as you don't take decisions, how do you feel when outside something happens and you don't, you could have taken a decision, but you didn't. And now that time is gone. What is it that you are feeling then?
Actually, honestly speaking, I don't feel very guilty about it.
Wonderful.
Because I know it is just myself that it is involving at the moment.
Okay.
But when it comes to the other people, then yes, that I should have done this.
Okay.
Maybe things could have changed.
Okay, so here it is. So then the answer is this, that whenever, if you don't feel guilty, if you're sitting in equanimity, that yeah, this happened just as it was meant to happen. Okay.
Mhm.
And just as because it's only concerning you, but even for the others, knowing that it happened just as it was meant to happen. Okay. So you can let go of your guilt. That's what. If guilt is getting produced in a situation, then
Right.
it's the word procrastination, that something was not done on time. Okay. And
Right.
when you
Right.
begin to look at yourself in the energy space, energies don't play in time.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Hmm.
every consequence is created from an energy field. Every consequence
Right.
is created from an energy field. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's your energy field that's simply making you feel guilty. But if something is playing out and it's got five other people involved in it as well,
Hmm.
please
Hmm.
understand that it's the dynamics of the energy field that's
Hmm.
creating those consequences, whether you did something or you didn't do something. The decisions would have been similar. Okay, the
Actually, the
outcomes
it
would
is
have been similar.
sorry for disrupting you. Actually, it is what the other people say about my
Yeah,
decisions
yeah, I was
that
going to
makes
get
me
to
feel
that part.
guilty.
I was going to get to that part. What other people will say to you. So that's the third part that I was going to cover. That
Okay.
you're going on, and everything is happening as usual, and you don't have a problem with procrastinating. And then you've looked at all the energies and you've worked on yourself and you've cleared your energy. And then what happens? Then somebody comes from outside and says, I wish you'd done that because it's your fault that this didn't happen. Is there a person outside? No. The story has just moved forward. And now
Uh-huh.
in the story, you've got to keep asking this question again and again. What am I feeling? Because with the word procrastination, you didn't feel anything in that moment. But
Yeah.
then now the next story has come up when an outside one comes to you and says, procrastination, your fault. Now, the next part of the story, the next leg of the story, the same word, but this time it's not without feeling. This
Yeah.
time, it's making you feel guilty. It's making you judge yourself. Guess why?
Right.
Because
Hmm.
this is the guilt that you're holding, and this word is simply here to show you
Hmm.
the guilt that you're holding. So you've got to ask. For somebody, it might be guilt. For somebody, it's regret. For somebody, it's judgment on the self. For somebody, it's anger. So the answers might be different even for you at different times. So each
Hmm.
time, so letting go of the word at all, that this thing was done on time or not done on time, because guess
Yeah.
what? Time doesn't exist. So that
Right.
something being done on time, not done on time, pretty much becomes inconsequential. You might think that, okay, but time doesn't exist, and how do I do these
Yeah.
deadline bound things or whatever? But again, when you are looking at a deadline, what does it create in you? I just talked about, when I'm looking at a deadline, it created fears in me. I let go of the fear. I
Hmm.
also let go of the deadline, and the deadline itself moved. If it
Yeah.
moved, great. If it didn't move, that would be great as well, because I'm no longer fearful of a deadline. Okay. So
Hmm.
looking at the fear. So wherever the story is taking you next and next, I keep telling people the one question that you've got to ask yourself 100 times in a day. What am I
Yeah.
feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? Because you think, oh,
Right.
I cleared everything. I already
Hmm.
worked on everything. And then
Right.
why is this happening now? That's
Hmm.
not part of that old story. This is new story playing out in this minute. And
Yeah.
now it's here to show you your guilt. So the job
Hmm.
is now to work on guilt. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay. Does procrastination and laziness go hand in hand? What is laziness? I don't understand laziness. On days you don't feel like doing something, on days you're overactive. So there is a tool that I show to people saying, don't put yourself in a bucket, because you're this and you are that too. So when you are looking at your own laziness, then you also look at the times that you've been overactive and you've done everything on time. If it was a need of the hour and you've been able to do that as well. So I don't understand the term laziness. I actually don't understand any adjectives at all. So this is also an adjective that you use to define yourself, to put yourself in a tiny little bucket. or to put somebody else saying, this one is lazy and that one's overactive and that one's balanced and that one's responsible. And all that you're doing is you are limiting, because each one of those people outside, or even if you're using these adjectives for your own self, then all that you are doing is limiting from understanding that you are simply in the body. You are the experiencer. You are the experiencer of energy. So when you talk about the word lazy, how does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good or does it make you feel guilty? Pay attention to the word energy behind the word. When I think of myself or somebody else as lazy, do I feel good? What am I feeling? If you're feeling guilty for being lazy, then it's the guilt that needs to be released. And then that word will lose its tight hold on you, because word is just a word. You're not just lazy, you are overly efficient as well. But if you classify yourself as one thing, now you get limited in looking at yourself as only that body. The more you limit yourself as only that aspect, then those emotions that that particular aspect is creating for you, those emotions is what you will be experiencing more and more. So if you think lazy and then therefore you feel guilty, then every time you think lazy, more and more guilt is being created. So if you're going to be sitting in guilt and doing more of that, then you can simply release your guilt and then, be in the joyful part of laziness. Then the whole day will go, you will do nothing, and you will feel so good about not doing anything during the day. You might do that for the second day. On the third day, if you're feeling, oh my God, I wasted 2 days, I should have done something, I haven't done anything for the past 2 days, then simply understand that again, on the third day, your frequencies have shifted back to guilt. For 2 days, you were sitting in joyful frequencies. You were like, okay, I take energy from Meenal. I'm Meenal, joy, masti, everything. All good. And then the third day, shit, I should have done more work. I just sat on those energies of Meenal. So bloody lazy she is. So bloody lazy I am. I didn't do anything for this last 1 week. If that's what you're thinking to yourself, understand. The needle has moved. The needle has moved back to guilt again. You can go back to being not guilty. And then what will happen to the work? Oh, the work will happen. The work will happen. The work will happen without any thoughts from your side. Your mind will be blank and the work will keep happening. All the work tends to happen. We'll become the medium through which the work happens when we are able to give away the doership. I need to do the work. If I don't do the work, there are consequences. If I don't do the work, who else will do the work? So there are consequences and consequences all in your head. So when you're able to let go of the outcomes and then simply sit in blankness, in the blankness, work will happen. So we actually are more productive when we don't stop ourselves from these frequencies of, frequencies of guilt, frequencies of judgment towards the self. All of that stuff can be released. The work happens in joy. And so when the work happens in joy, guess what? More joy in you, more joy outside of you. So you will get to see more joyful stuff happening outside when we sit in those energies.
Thank you.
Wonderful. The things which I love, those get finished on time. You guys are just like talking about all my content before I can get to the content. This is so cute. Okay, so this is the question from Ritu, and she says, the things which I love to do, they get finished on time, like making up my room, meditation, finishing office work. But there are things I don't love, like maintaining dashboard, etc. And those get procrastinated. How do we maintain energy there as well? Every time I say, okay, now my next section I have to move to, and that's exactly where the question takes me to. How wonderful. Ease and grace, ease and grace. I don't even have to remember what's the next section. Not that I'm remembering. This is all money comes. I just sit and do this, right? So he would have reminded me, but here it is. Ritu reminds me of this with so much ease and grace. So there are times when we procrastinate. So the first time we procrastinated is when we are feeling fear, and so we don't want to do something. And the second time that we procrastinate is when we know that there is enough time, the work is very easy, we can get it done at any point in time, it'll happen to us. And so we procrastinate because we know it's easy. Oh, I didn't cover this time, let me cover it right now. This was the second part of my content as well. So even if we find something is very easy, we might still procrastinate because why? Oh, there's too much time left. And so if there's too much time left, there are two outcomes that are possible. One, that the work will get done easily, won't even need so much of your attention, done and dusted. Great, nothing to think about. And then the second aspect might be that you thought it was easy, but when you get down to do it, now it's no longer easy. Oh my God, I hadn't looked at this aspect of it. Now I think I need more time. Oh no, I should have done this earlier. I had so much time. Why didn't I do this? Now you are sitting in regret. You're sitting in the frequency of regret because you had the time and you didn't do it. So again, before we move forward into anything, we simply release the regret as well. We release the regret, the anxiety that now it will take more time. Now it will not get done as it was meant to be done. Now it will be an incomplete job. Now you won't be giving your full, giving your full 100% to it. Well, you don't give your 100% to anything in any case, because this body is not the 100%. Your energy is so vast, you don't know what your 100% looks like. So anyway, so letting go of this guilt, letting go of the regret, and then getting into the job. So that would be the other reason for procrastination. The third one was, well, the third one was actually the other aspect. What when people will say something to you because you procrastinated. So again, letting go of the judgment and then giving some more love to yourself, because that judgment that you hold is what is getting reflected from outside. That's not them coming and telling you, but you didn't release the judgments on yourself. You're still holding on to adjectives and you are limiting yourself. And so letting go of those limiting adjectives for yourself, and then you will find that people won't have problems. People won't come and point to you because you are no longer carrying that energy of guilt. So letting go of the guilt, letting go of the judgment, giving some more love to yourself. And then this be the final part, or the one more additional part, which is that when you procrastinate, things that you don't like to do. There are all of these chores in a day that you don't want to do. There's some that you like and you get done. And there are some of these tasks that you don't want to do. And what is it that you will do then? So for that, I always tell people there is a very easy solution. Rather than sitting in the energies of dragging my feet and being so unhappy about doing something, simply come into first, bring yourself, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you are not able to. And I say, no, sit down first before doing that task. Sit down and bring yourself into the energies of gratitude, the energy of gratitude for that task that you are going to do. So for example, let's say you don't like washing clothes, and now these are available, clothes have to be washed every 3 days, and then you hate the task of washing clothes. That would be me. Okay, so just simply to bring yourself into the energy of gratitude. Look at the clothes and bring yourself to gratitude. Maybe you can see your favorite clothes in there, your favorite shirt, your favorite dress, and then simply looking at it and saying, okay, this one's ready to be worn again. So, gratitude to this beautiful dress. I look so pretty in it. Okay. All right. I look so good in it. So thank you for the dress, for being here. And today I'm going to wash you, make you look good. Bring yourself, no matter what it takes, work consciously in awareness to bring yourself to gratitude as you do that job, or even before you do the job. Why is that even important? You will get the job done, whether you like it or you don't like it. There are so many tasks that we do during the day and we just get it done. Okay, fine, let's just finish it. And it gets done with this face, I hate doing this, but all right, fine, it's got to be done. And what is it that we are increasing in our energies as we do this, regular day-to-day job? What we are increasing at that point in our energies is dissatisfaction, or rather, even we are playing with contentment and we are, feeling discontented, dissatisfaction, or feeling bored, whatever it is. The energy is not of joy. The energy is not of joy. And so when we bring gratitude to ourselves, what will happen when we are feeling grateful for whatever it is that we are doing? The universe will create more things that we are thankful for. That's just it. So feel grateful, not because I told you so, but truly feel the gratitude in your heart that you had the money to do this. So many people come to me and say, I hate my job, and please give me guidance on what I should do and where I should look for a job. And I say, okay, here's my guidance: be in gratitude for your job. And that's the place where your new job will come from. Otherwise, that energy of discontentment that you are carrying, that's the only one that you're going to take to every place you go. You might change your job, it might be your dream job, and yet, in some time, what's going to happen? Your dream job is going to have you there with your energies of discontentment. Guess what? You are going to be receiving more and more of. So, simply coming into the energies of gratitude when you do things that you don't like to do. When people come to me and say, okay, don't like this job and I have to do this, and I say, okay, look at the other parts of the work which you feel grateful for. Maybe this is the one part that you don't feel grateful for, but there are other parts of the job that you feel grateful for. Bring yourself to gratitude that because of my job I get to do this and I get to do that. Put your focus more on the thankfulness. As you shift your focus, you will find that that job also will get done with more ease and grace. It'll get done with more ease and grace because now you're not focused on how badly you hate it. You're actually focused on, okay, wow, this gets me to do so much other stuff. This gets me to do, this gets me to spend money. This gets me to get my groceries. This gets me to do shopping. Whatever it is that you love to do, this job is bringing you that. So be in gratitude. And from that place, when the time arises, when the new job comes, it will give you more to be grateful about, because that's what the universe will keep bringing to you. So that's what it is. Even for some jobs that you don't like doing, pause, and rather than forcing yourself to do it, for some days, don't even do it. Don't do it. Sit in that place. If you don't do it, what are you feeling? Sit with that emotion. What are you feeling as you don't do it? Well, I'm feeling great that I don't have to do it. Okay, but now that you're feeling great, be grateful. As you're feeling great, now move your frequency towards gratitude, be grateful. And on the fourth day, fifth day, when you're feeling grateful enough, then you put your mind to the task. You put money to the task. I do this. Okay, I'm feeling very, very, lazy about doing this. Can you please help me? And he surely sends me help. He sends me help. So always knowing that the universe is here, it's playing in my favor. Even in this job, even in this knowing that I can be grateful for this job, that's the universe playing in my favor. It has told me what I need to do so that the job will get done with ease and grace. So that's how it is, moving everything to ease and grace when it comes to doing things that you don't like to do. The ones that you procrastinate, that's how you deal with it. When we come to precrastination, which is, trying to get things done, way ahead of time. Okay, this is here, it's on my head. Let me just get this finished off with. Let me do this so that it doesn't come back to haunt me later. Again, when you take a look at it, when you want to get some work done in such a hurry, the underlying might be fear. So take a look at it. Why is it that you're wanting to get something done so quickly? Maybe it's a job that you really like to do. And so as soon as it's there, you need to do it. Okay, here I am. I'm going to create something today. I'm going to do this job. I love it. If you're doing it from the love energy, is great. But if you're simply just wanting to get something done with, take a look at that wanting to get something done with. There is fear underneath. There is worry underneath. Firstly, release that. Release the worries, release the fears, and then you can still do it early. But at least that energy would have changed. Sometimes we just want to get it done. Let me get it out. No matter how badly I do it, I just want it out of my face. It should be done and over with. Again, change your energy first to gratitude. Some of these daily tasks we do all the time. Some of these daily tasks we do all the time, and we don't bring ourselves to gratitude. And we just simply doing it, and we are so bored with it. And so now, bring your awareness to it, bring gratitude into it. You will find that if it's something even as menial, if it's something as menial as, everyday meals, but you will find that the meals will be more enjoyed with people when you are putting the energy of gratitude in it. I see somebody is on unmute. That would be Rema. So I put her on mute. Okay, fine. All right. I see no more questions. I think I've probably answered all aspects of procrastination. Especially, Rema, can you please stay on mute? Unless you want to ask something. Are you looking to ask something? Okay, apparently not. So we'll mute Rema again. All right. Okay. So as we as we look at the word itself, procrastinate, things are not getting done on time. I'm the one who delays it. I'm the one who's not doing it on time. You can simply let go of all the energy of guilt or judgment that you have attached to this word. And you will find that more and more you will be able to do things on time. That's how beautiful it is. The minute you let go of the energies, that are here to be noticed, the energies of guilt that want to be noticed by you now can be noticed and released. The energies of judgment that want to be noticed by you, that want more deeper experience this time, you can shift the needle. You can judge yourself to be most awesome rather than most lazy, and the energy will shift, and you will find that in your laziness, much more work gets done than ever before. So just to be able to notice that, all of these words, these adjectives that we put so much of stress on, we are simply limiting ourselves to a very narrow definition of who we are. I always talk about this tool, which is the Wholeness Tool. I've presented it to you guys several times, which is to say that when you think that you are only lazy, then simply take a look, ask the universe, okay, what all places have I been proactive, really so proactive that everything got done because of me? And then you will find that so many instances will come to your mind, which you've forgotten about. And so you're not just this, you are this and you're that too. And from that space, you can let go of that limiting definition of yours that gives you so much guilt and gives you so much judgment. And that's all there is to procrastination. I procrastinate all the time because I'm constantly looking for easier answers. And I tell money, okay, this looks complicated. You're going to sort it out for me. And he does. And when he sorts it out, then everything moves beautifully in time. That's the perfect time for it to move every time, because energy doesn't play in time. So whenever it's getting done in this new energy, it's the perfect moment for this work to happen in this energy. All of this while, whenever the work has been getting done, it's the perfect time for the work to happen in that energy. If you sat in the energies of regret, then for that was the perfect time. So the universe always moves in perfection with the frequency that we are in. So you change your frequency, the perfection will move as well. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this one says, my son who is 4 years old is asking me again and again, मैं स्कूल का होमवर्क नहीं कर पाता, मुझे खेली खेली अच्छा लगता है, मैं क्या करूं, मैम से पूछो. Oh, so cute. So cute. Hi Viraj. So when you are feeling, so जब तुमको खेली खेली अच्छा लगता है और तुमका स्कूल का होमवर्क नहीं कर पाते, जब शाम को मम्मा बोलती हैं स्कूल का होमवर्क किया और उसके बाद मम्मा तुमको डांटती है, तो तुमको कैसा लगता है? So जैसा भी लगता है, so you can teach. So here's the thing for the mother and for the son. When your child wants to only play and doesn't want to do their homework, what is it that you as the mother are feeling? That's your story. That's your emotion to clear. When the son, if the son is listening to me and he wants to know, you can easily tell the son also to release everything into the candle. It's a process. I've done workshops for 3 years and 4 years old. And it's beautiful how quickly they connect, how quickly they understand. They're able to release their sadness, they're able to release their fears. So teach your son. So, okay, if you've not done the homework, now what is it that you're feeling? Oh, I'm scared of mama scolding me. Okay, then that scare, that fear needs to go into the candle. And then it'll work beautifully, because the minute the energy of this fear changes, then automatically time will get created for work to get done. Time will automatically get created. The work that would take so much longer, it'll happen easier with ease and grace. But over here, when the son is sitting, and because the son is like a little one, and the mother is there, so asking the both of you, okay, so you've got to ask this question to yourself: what am I feeling? When I'm playing, I'm feeling really good. But when I'm done playing and I come back home and I see four pages of homework remaining, now what am I feeling? Now what am I feeling? Even before you get to do the work, firstly look into the feeling and release that feeling, and then sit for your homework. Then sit for your homework. You will find that the homework happens easier, and there's lots of time to play. There will be lots of time to play. Yeah. And then the mother, when the son is not doing the homework on time, and the mother is running after the son saying, do your homework, do your homework, then what is it that the mother is experiencing? No, if they don't do the homework, they'll be in trouble at the school. This will happen, that will happen. These all consequences that you are creating in your head as you see somebody outside procrastinate. What are you experiencing? If you are experiencing worry and fears, then you know what is to be done. Yeah. All right. So try it out. The candle works beautifully. I've seen adults who can't do the candle process, but I haven't seen a single child who is that young, who is not able to experience, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm feeling sad. I want to release this into the candle. So it happens with so much more ease for them, because they're already tuned into the frequencies of masti. They don't have to tune into it. They're already tuned into it. They already know what masti is like. Okay, all right, wonderful then. Okay, everybody. So for today, it was real fun, even in the Hindi one. And I said today, I have zero meditation coming up. There's no meditation for you. So enjoy. And the only thing that I said was, okay, take a deep breath in and release. Meditation done. So that's how it is. That's what the meditation for today is. I know, as all of you know, I don't have any meditations planned. I don't understand what is going to come up, but something comes up all the time. But today, blankness comes up when it is for meditation. So today, no meditation for all of you, but simply one deep breath in and release. And all that you're experiencing is released with just that one breath. You don't need more. Empty, empty, empty. You can be with just one breath. So enjoy this shortest meditation on planet Earth. Enjoy. And now guess what? Every time you put your focus on any breath, 1 second, meditation is done. That's how easy it can be. Okay, everybody, lots and lots of love to all of you. It's fun. Is anybody with any more questions? All questions answered. We are done. Okay. Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Lots of love.
Thank